Balance formula. For healthy joints, get 3 bottles for $47.97 or 1 bottle for $22.97. Get your supply today. Visit us online at riversideTaiChi.com/joint balance formula.
Hieroglyphic Visions, a digital marketing services company. We provide digital services for your company, such as flyer design, online marketing, ad placement, logo design, and more. Contact King Gaddy at 706-914-6238 or email at kinggaddy7@gmail.com. Let me bring your vision to fruition. Peace.
Greetings and welcome to the Sirius Mindz app. This is Professor Griff. Come on in, stay for a while, browse around, check out the different communities. This live app will service your intellectual, psychic, and mental needs. So come on in. Join the different communities, check them out, browse around. We have a community that will service your live stream needs, whether it's lectures, performance, interviews, online classes, and study groups. We have a community that you can join where we're talking about and dealing with research study material, hopefully a virtual library, and as I said, online classes for you to join and take part in. We have communities that if you're on social media, you have social media information and links. And of course, if you enjoy my online weekly show, World Star Hit Radio and Sirius Mindz, you'll be able to catch them live right here on the app. Last but not least, we have the Oculus Inner Circle. With Oculus Inner Circle, we're dealing with the occult information, metaphysical information, esoteric information in dealing with the occult. So, stay on the app, join us. And by the way, you get all this for one low price per month. Subscribe, stay on the app, share it with other people, and I'll see you in a minute. This is Professor Griff for Sirius Mindz, for Sirius Mindz. Seriously. Peace. Peace. Greetings. This is Professor Griff of Public Enemy, and I want to introduce to you my new book, A Warrior's Tapestry. This book is a guide of rituals and practices that you can incorporate into your daily life. It will assist you in cultivating a life of discipline and a spirit and mindset of a warrior. It lays out a physical workout plan. It teaches you how to incorporate prayer and meditation into your daily routine. It explores the differences between education, entertainment, economics, religion, spirituality, sex, war, politics. It even breaks down and gives you a vegan meal guide and herbal supplement list. In the Warrior's Tapestry, there's also a book list, a DVD list, a movie list, a music list. We incorporate all of these things so you can develop a warrior's mindset. And all this is to help cultivate a positive and clear, healthy habits spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. A Warrior's Tapestry is a must-have manual for the serious seeker of the warrior spirit and lifestyle. To pre-order this book, pre-order it today. It's only $20. Price includes shipping and handling. The book is will be available 11/11/18. That's November 11th, 2018. You can purchase it by going to paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp or log into www.professorgriff.com ProfessorGriff.me, or simply call me at 678-557-2919. Get this book, A Warrior's Tapestry, now. Please download the Sirius Mindz app and listen to further guidance and instruction on not only the Warrior's Tapestry, but weekly shows from Professor Griff. Thank you very much. Revolution is not an event, it's a process. Peace. Peace. This is Professor Griff. Of course, y'all know from the legendary hip-hop group. And hip-hop is high infinite power healing our people. But from the legendary hip-hop group, Public Enemy. Y'all already know that. If y'all watching tonight, y'all should already know that. But what you don't know, probably, is I'm right here on Celebrity Media TV. All right, the launch is December 1st. All right, shout out to everybody on Facebook. Excuse me, that was a Freudian slip. Shout out to everybody on Sirius Mindz app. And any place else that you're probably hearing it. You're probably going to see this on Sirius Mindz, RNTV, on YouTube somewhere. But anyway, keep your eyes and ears open and your spiritual antenna and your psychic antenna up for the launch of Celebrity Media TV December 1st. All right. Tonight's a special night because y'all already know that I'm on every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 right here. I want to thank everybody at WORLDSTARHITRADIO and definitely Celebrity Media TV. We about to make this pop for real. But thank y'all very much. Thanks to everyone that have given a nickel, dime, food stamp, Captain Crunch coupon, whatever you gave, the support of my Oculus film, the support of any of the things that I'm doing. All right. So the book is done. The book is called A Warrior's Tapestry. I need everybody to go to my website, www.professorgriff.me. Order the book. It's called A Warrior's Tapestry. If you have shorties in your family, your country cousin, your nephew, all right, your badass little brother, all right, Tay-Tay, Man, Peanut, Twan, and them that need some guidance, and they need to know what to eat, what herbs to take, what books to read, what YouTube channels to watch. I put all of that in a book. It's a small 100-page book, but you need it so you can give it to them and say, listen, it's a small read, it's a quick read. It's like a guidebook for what you don't have to look all over the internet anymore. I packaged it in one simple book. You can go right to it and look it up. It's called The Warrior's Tapestry. All right? Who would know that you put living foods in a living body? The first thing that you put in your body in the morning is water. The last thing you put in your body is water. Leave the processed foods alone. All right? You need to drink and eat something green every day. It's just basic stuff. All right? Simple stuff that we need to know, all right, to survive in this world. But enough about the book. You can get it from www.ProfessorGriff.me/Professor Griff Corp. All right? That's Professor Griff Corp. All right? Shout out to everybody that's watching this on my app. If you do not have the app, those people right here on Facebook, I need y'all to go get the app right now. Go to the Apple Store or go to Google Play and look for the Sirius Mindz app. It's the bright gold one, all right, with thought in the middle of it. All right? Go to Apple Store or go to Google Play. It's and Sirius Mindz is SIRIUSMINDZ. All right? SIRIUSMINDZ. Tonight we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving. I call it thanks-taking. All right? Most of us in this room right here have some Native American blood going through our veins. Regardless of which tribe it is, nonetheless, we don't feel good about what's about to go down tomorrow. All right? Now, isn't it ironic that the day that everybody's supposed to be feeling their gut and not understanding the genocide of the Native American black people, the genocide of the Native American, they have a E. coli outbreak. So there's certain foods that your ass can't eat. That's good. That's God's doing. It ain't mine. All right? At the same damn time, God said, nah, y'all ain't eating that shit. Not this time. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to all my Native American brothers and sisters. It's really disrespectful to use that kind of terminology towards them, like it is with calling some people from Africa Africans. All right? Some brothers and sisters I know want you to call them by their tribal name. There's 1,000 different dialects on the African continent, and everybody didn't call themselves African. I'm going to let y'all marinate on that for a minute. An argument with a brother in front of the damn bookstore, with the books in the store. And I'm trying to get him to come in the store. We can find the answer to this argument. Come on in the store. All of the people on the continent of Africa didn't call themselves Africans. Why? What, African, Greek, or English? They didn't speak the language, first of all. They were tribal people. My dad comes from the Blackfoot tribe. All right? You insulted him when you called him an Indian. You understand what I'm saying? That just makes sense. It's like somebody calling you out your name. That's where that terminology comes from. Don't call me out my name. You understand what I'm saying? So to run down the history of Europeans coming to America, taking native people back to sell them back to other Europeans as slaves. You can watch that on the goddamn History Channel. We'd be wasting our time tonight. We need to get to the root of this whole idea of Thanksgiving, because this is the harvest season. This is the season when we should be plucking up what we've planted, because we're about to enter into this whole idea of winter, and we need to start stocking and storing the food away. So there's nothing wrong with this time of year giving thanks. So let me establish that. All right. A lot of the self-righteous people with L's and B's and X's and shit behind their name, you understand what I'm saying, like to come at me, and all the holy, the holier than thou ones, who are way up there and they never come down for you to have a normal conversation with them. You understand what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers be cooking couscous and lighting incense and blowing sage in your face rather than have a normal conversation. Let's just have a regular conversation so we can talk with one another. This is that season that we should be giving thanks, but we give thanks every day. But overall, the collective mindset of our people, we should be giving thanks, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you giving thanks with the spirit of your open enemy, knowing what he did to your country cousin, the Native American. All right? That's blasphemy. All right? You out of bounds with that one, because you know the history, but you just trying to pretend like you don't know the history, so your ass can get some turkey and cranberry sauce tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? And you got the day off from work, from Home Depot somewhere, all right, from Wally World. No. We need to break some of these things down so we can understand the dynamic in what we're dealing with. I'm talking about most of us culturally and psychically and spiritually tomorrow morning will proverbially hit the reset button. The cultural reset button and the spiritual reset button, and you know, connect yourselves back to your open enemy. He said, well, why would you say that? Because as much consciousness as we have, and we slowly moving ourselves away from their spirit and their mindset, every holiday, you hit the reset button and you put yourself back into the throes of racism, white supremacy spirit. Well, what do you mean by that? Last month was Halloween. Hallow meaning sacred. Ween meaning evening. Hallow evening. Sacred evening. But you tied yourself back into it, not understanding the dynamics of the Halloween. So your ass went up, caught between the two worlds, the living and the dead, and you dressed your children up as ghosts and goblins and all that kind of stuff. And you reset yourself again, going door to door asking for goddamn candy. Sad. Not good. Not good. There is a deeper concept in ancient Kemet. We don't have time to talk about it now. For those that are stuck between two worlds. We'll talk about that at another time. Then here we are now in November. At the end of November, celebrating some goddamn pilgrims who were leaving Europe to escape persecution to come over here to persecute the Native Americans. What kind of shit is that? Not good. After this month, they're going to catch you with the big right hook. They're going to catch you at Christmas. And you're going to spend all your goddamn money. Ask Rick Mathis. You're going to spend all your goddamn money. You understand what I'm saying? Doing chroma. You say chroma. It's Christmas. Christ Mass. All right? All in the name of Jesus. And he ain't had a damn thing to do with it. Right? And then if that don't get by you, you're going to stay drunk from December 25th to January 1st. January 2nd, really. You're going to wake up probably on the 3rd. You so damn drunk because of New Year's. Right? And they're going to catch you in that thick, lying to you, teaching you and your children that the first of the year is January 1st. That's an outright lie. January 1st was never the new year. It was always April 1st. All right? And they celebrated and they called it spring. Why? Because the earth sprung back into life. You saw flowers growing again. Plants and rabbits and animals and everything was springing back to life. You understand what I'm saying? This is why they call it spring. But then again, they hit you with this whole concept of Easter, lying on Jesus again. They hit you with Easter, tricking you and making you think that rabbits lay eggs. I'm going to let y'all marinate on that one too. Rabbits don't lay eggs, man.
What about the fool?
April Fool, well, that's one of the reasons, the rules that they use to get people into the whole idea of chasing and finding eggs and bushes and all that kind of stuff. It's a tradition from Europe that what white people used to do is strip their women down, butt naked, and paint them. And they used to go hide. And they used to find them and have sex right there on the spot. Because, it's hard for them to have children. They, this whole zero birth rate that they have. You understand what I'm saying? It's a tradition with them. Giving birth to the whole idea of the orgy and all these other kind of things. That anybody can sleep with anybody's woman. You understand what I'm saying? That's a deeper conversation. But I just gave you the history of all of these holidays that are hitting you back to back. And it don't even stop there because they hit you in February with about 5 of them in a row. And it's supposed to be Black History Month. First weekend is the football Super Bowl. Second weekend, I think, is the Oscars. NBA, having something the third weekend. And every weekend in February, there's a different event happening every weekend. When do you get a chance to celebrate Black history? Never. And these people, strategically, they know what they're doing. All right? So they're now ex-slaves, physically ex-slaves. But now they have the mental chains on us and they're locking us down in that way. So let's understand this particular dynamic and how it works. I think in March we get a breather. Any holidays in March?
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. If your ass is still running around here with fucking green on, I can't even say that because they stole that from us. They stole that. The little short, what do you call them? Leprechaun is actually the Twa people. All right. So it's a deeper science even to St. Patrick's Day. Again, can we get the next month? What's the next month? April. Well, that's Easter. Well, they don't really know when Easter is. And then May, they hit you with Mother's Day. June, Father's Day. July, 4th of July. August.
It's Labor Day.
Huh?
Is that Labor Day?
No. Labor Day is in September.
That's what Labor Day did. That must be Labor Day.
August. August, they give us a break?
Yeah, they give you a break. Well, when is Labor Day?
Woo!
September.
September. And then it starts all over again. So the only day you get...
in August. You get Labor Day and Memorial Day?
No, Labor Day, that's not in August.
When is that?
Labor Day is in September, I think. Memorial Day.
One is May and one is September.
Yeah.
May or...
It's in May.
Yeah. Which one is in May?
Memorial Day.
Labor Day is in September.
Right, one of them. So, yeah. But the whole idea, you're right, Kimberly Robinson, the spring equinox is the new, and you renew. And the planet, the creator, having the planet rotate at 1,037 1/3 miles per hour on its way around the sun. Yeah. You fucking flat earthers. You motherfuckers need to know that the earth rotates around the sun. It doesn't stay still on a plane. Because if it did, how would you heat the other side of it unless it turned over? And then your whole concept of it being a plane would be thrown. You motherfuckers are something else. We've been on this planet millions of years. For these fuckers to come along and stick with the Christopher Columbus kind of mindset that the earth is flat, stop that, y'all. Stop that. Seriously. Stop. Man, Okay, can we get started? Where was I at? Thanks taking. So let's just run down the basic history. The lie that they teaching your children because you still got them in public school, or you paying a whole bunch of money to put them in private school and they're catching it worse. All right? Or are you waiting for that dude to build his school? I wouldn't wait. I'm saying homeschool your children. Connect with Aya or connect with some online homeschool, God-centered or African-centered program to educate your children. Some people say, well, why can't you, what's wrong with the education system that we're presently getting? I say to you, why don't you show me the proof of it and its success rate anywhere in the country, in any field? Show it to me. I put up a challenge several years ago. I'll pay anybody $1,000 if you can prove to me that democracy works in America or outside of America. So these people running around the globe talking about it's a war to establish a war on terrorism, to establish a democracy across the globe. Where has it worked? I'm just curious. Where has it worked? It doesn't work. All right? If it worked in America, they wouldn't kill their leaders. One last thing before we really truly get started. How many of y'all voted for Donald Trump? White or black? It don't make a difference. I'm waiting for some people to respond because these assholes is running around there saying that they gonna vote for Trump so Trump can add and turn the pressure and the heat up on black people so we can begin to start doing what we supposed. That's so fucking idiotic. How does that concept work? I'm gonna anger my mom so much she gonna whip my ass and that'll make me take out the garbage or wash the dishes. That concept just don't work. How's that working out for y'all? Excuse, I didn't hear what y'all said. So it's not working. Because if democracy works and that concept works, have y'all forgotten we came through Reagan and Bush and Clinton and that deceptive ass Barack Obama? If that didn't put enough pressure on y'all, your cousin is still in fucking jail from having a little butt of weed in his fucking ashtray under the Clintons. So, I mean, how's that working? I'm not understanding this concept.
None of them have any.
None of them have done anything for black people to advance us forward. Exactly. So I'm tired of the Roland Martins calling us out, conscious people this, the so-called conscious community that, and whatever. We actually are the ones that's keeping this thing moving. If it was not for conscious people setting forth a conscious agenda and pricking the consciousness, all right, and holding people to a small degree of responsibility, all right, I'm not trying to use 19-syllable words, responsibility, the ability to respond to either dumb Negroes, Negresses, or these other people across the fence, all right, or just outright coons, all right, then, yeah, we would have gave up the boat long damn time ago. One of the reasons why they won't outright move on black people the way they do, because of the conscious community, because of groups like the Nation of Islam and other people. I want to ask a question right here. What's stopping them? What's stopping these people, white militia groups and anyone else, just saying, let's just get rid of all of them? Because they know to a certain degree, they can only anger us to a certain degree. All right? So we have to understand, and then we might have sympathetic whites, sympathetic Asians, and some other sympathetic people that might join with us in doing what we need to do to stabilize this thing. I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't bet on it. All right? I had a slogan that I used to say like 3-4 years ago. The first 10,000 bullets are going to be for black people. If the shit went down tomorrow and it kicked off 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, just complete anarchy. All right? About 250,000 of us would just die before 8 o'clock because of the self-hatred. All right? You'd run out of bullets before you get to use them on anybody else, using them on one another. I'm not saying that because I dislike where black people are at right now. I'm just stating a fact. You understand what I'm saying? And then you would try with your stupid, sick, twisted ass, demented ass fucking mentality, you would try to go across the fence and buy more ammunition from your enemy. And what you think he gonna say when you show up at the fucking gun store? You dumbass. It's just, it doesn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? So that brings me back to my point, Thanksgiving. So the pilgrims escaping persecution came to America. Okay. This was the new world. This been here for a long time. All right? For you people out there, I don't want to call any names, that are still on YouTube talking about this transatlantic slave trade never happened. Oh, man, there's a sister in this room, and I'm trying to curb my mouth. I can't moon y'all because, you know, my children wouldn't like that. But what the fuck, man? I don't give a fuck if 4 people came over in a slave ship. It happened. Don't tell me it didn't happen, and then they brought ships over here just to take people back and to bring them same people back over here. That is stupid. Well, where's the proof? Where's the ships? Motherfucker, if you committed a crime and you knew they was coming after your ass, wouldn't you hide the evidence? That just doesn't make sense. But we have slave narratives that were documented from people that were still enslaved. Now listen, slavery ain't in 200 years ago. Just recent. You could damn near still find some people living that can tell you some of the stories. So stop that, man. Stop the blood clot crying. Stop the bullshit, man. Stop. All right. Somebody keeps sending me links about these dudes on YouTube saying that it never happened. Show them the proof and show them the chains. And I'm like, bro, that's a tall order, man. That's really a tall order. And then they hit me with the Irish was enslaved too. I'm like, no. There's no other people that were enslaved for 400 years but black people. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to use that term, black, because we everything else. We're Dominican, we Puerto Rican, we Haitian, we all, way before all of these places existed. Oh, the proper term now is melanated. As though we didn't already know we were melanated. Okay, but melanated, melanin, in any other language simply means black. More, I don't care what it is. Egypt, Kimmy, Kim, I don't, right across the board, black. But I guess, but because, what's his name? The white Jewish dude, Black, Mr. Black, who made the Black Law Dictionary, right, didn't write it in the way we know how to read it and wrote us in a certain kind of way. That's your excuse for saying we're not black. Well, I'm not black, and because they say I'm not the color of my shirt, which is black. So I should.
It's semantics.
Not only is it semantics, it doesn't even go deep enough to challenge a third grader, because we don't call ourselves black based on the color. Right. We have 150,000 shades of this color called black. But even deeper than that, we're connected to the cosmic forces, which are black. To the melanin that lines everything in the universe, which connects to every living organ in your body, which is lined with melanin, which is black. Everything comes from black. But we're not supposed to call ourselves that, because there wasn't records in the White House or the Library of Congress that can justify our existence and our nationality. Y'all niggas are something else, man. So I guess when you get pulled over, you're going to have that conversation with the police. Stop that. Officer O'Fucking-Toole ain't going for it, man. O'Reilly, Mac, whatever the fuck, they're not going for it. No. Because like Malcolm said, when they come to get you, they ain't not asking for your ID and what nationality you are. They see that you black and you got this, you dead ass. Plain and simple. This is real talk. On a Wednesday. I hope y'all put your on a Wednesday. I hope y'all put your children up. All right. So what are we supposed to do tomorrow? Since tradition is to bring the family members together, we sit down and have this feast that never happened in history. It only happened with about maybe 100 people. 20 goddamn so-called pilgrims, and that wasn't even really their title or their names then. And about 90 Native Americans, I believe, from the Wampanoag tribe. And do me a favor. Find any of them today. Smallpox wiped them out. Intentionally. So let's understand this particular dynamic and put things in a proper context. All right? I think we should have dedicated this show to Ishaka Musa Barashango, who gave us black people and European holidays and mental genocide. All right? It's a 2-volume set. Please make a mental note of it or just write it down. Ishaka Musa Barashango. All right? Who laid out the whole history of Christopher Columbus, the Pilgrims, and all of these holidays that we celebrate every single year, binding our energy and our spirit back to our open enemy. All right? So let's throw some dates around. 1600s. Which Elijah Muhammad said we was here since 1555, and even prior to that. Because if Chris and the boys made his voyage in 1492, he ran into somebody. We had to already be here. Right? So we was here to meet them. Now, the Pilgrims didn't know where the hell they were going. They wanted to end up in Manhattan, but they ended up 200 and some odd miles north in Massachusetts somewhere. Not knowing how to survive, the native people there, I believe it was the Wampanoag tribe, taught them how to survive. And to give thanks to the Wampanoag, what they did was they tried to set up a colony, all right? And to thank them, they rounded up many of them as they can find, put them back on the ship to go back and sell them to Europeans back in Europe, leaving behind smallpox and other diseases. Have y'all ever pondered the thought, where did these sexually transmitted diseases even come from? Venereal disease, syphilis, and all this other kind of stuff are sheep diseases. I'm going to say that again. They come from sheep. They come from animals. Now, I don't know anybody that I know personally. I've heard, but I don't know nobody personally that fuck animals. Oh, we on Celebrity Media TV. What's up?
Good. I just got a video came in about that.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
That whole concept and idea came from the Caucasus Mountains, with white people mating with animals, monkeys and dogs, and I know. Let me press the pause button, because your man Leor Cohen said I said that in Switzerland. And it caused it a shitstorm.
Oh, yeah. You said that.
Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, that's critical, man. Whoo! Wow.
Pigs.
They having sex with pigs and sheep.
Now,
very white.
what I've heard is that it's scientifically proven that we have hair, but they have fur. And what I'm saying, they just the Caucasians.
But when you say hair, like hair meaning where? Because a rat has hair. A mosquito has hair. But I'm just saying, we have hair.
There's derivative.
A derivative of?
Well, if they scientifically looked under a microscope, and our quote unquote hair,
Yeah. Okay.
had a different
Texture to it,
texture
because
and everything opposed to theirs, and theirs were more consistent to animals.
Right, exactly. Because they
Well, you
spent their
have-
time up under
And
the ice,
theirs
and they
grow down, and ours grow to the sun. Now,
exactly. Now, if you find us in certain climates, ours grow down also, because Elijah Muhammad said the hair that we see in the average black person, when I say average, I know there's no such thing, but black people here in America, because you can travel all over the globe as Ranoka Rashidi and other people do, and they find black people with straight hair. My dad had straight black hair. You understand what I'm saying? So in different climates. But when you're talking about for your very survival, having to defeat the wild beasts, not even having a language to communicate with one another. Elijah Muhammad said they spoke the language of Ugh, and they beat on the walls of the caves because they couldn't formulate words, and they mimic the animals in the field. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we turn around and we mimic them. So in the club, beating on the walls of the cave, in the club, we hit on women like they hit the animals. Same thing. You understand what I'm saying? We even hiss like snakes, and we catcall, and all this terminology, and all of that originated in the caves. The whole idea of oral sex originated in the caves, because that what the dog is a man's best friend, but not ours. It's their best friend.
Now, do they have an animal genetic, in your opinion? Or
Well, I don't really try to give my opinion, because opinions like assholes.
Right. Well, I didn't want to say your factual.
Well, you don't even say put my on it. You can say, is it factual that white people have an animal kind of in their...
Well, I got into it with someone that was white, and they had a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it as a lot of times I got bit by a dog one time, and I told him that...
Two-legged or four-legged?
Four-legged.
Okay.
All right. I told him that they think that all their dogs get along with other people.
Oh,
and
hell
I told them that your dog may have not bit no one else you around.
Right.
But when I came around, I don't have an animal genetic. So that dog is confused.
Right.
So it's going to be confused, and that's why it bit me.
Right.
Even though it never had bit anyone.
Right. Edward Blyden and other people that gave the history of the Haitian Revolution and other conflicts in the islands can teach you on how they make these dogs together to breed these kind of dogs to specifically eat human flesh. From the time they're little, they serve them human flesh. That's all they know. They think that's a regular meal to them. You understand what I'm saying? And this is how they're trained. But you can't tell them that the animal is not part of the family. The dog, the cat, the bird, and anything else that they want to. But this is
What is the fascination with black people starting to adapt that same?
I don't know.
Go down a hallway of an apartment and everybody has dogs. Like
Everyone will. So this whole idea of Thanksgiving was supposed to be giving thanks, but enslaving the same people that taught you how to survive. I'm trying to understand that concept. Once Europeans found out that the New World had gold and riches and abundance of land, let me tell you the sickness with these people. They came over, and because they didn't see fences, they figured the land was for the taking. And they made a deal with a few Native Americans that made a deal with them. But the vast majority of the tribes never made these kind of deals and went to war with Europeans. All right. And we need to understand that the whole idea of what they taught us in the Tarzan movies and the John Wayne movies and these kind of movies that indoctrinated us was the whole idea of the Native Americans scalping the white man. That's absolutely a lie. It was the white man who were paying other white men to bring back the scalps of Native Americans, all right, so they can get paid for them. This is how they would trade, and this is how they would survive. The only reason that the Native American went to war with the white man and with the white European was the fact that he was taking the land. And this is why the Native American at Standing Rock and other places around North America is still at war with white people for them taking the land, because land is the basics to economic freedom. I think I said that in Rick Mathers' film. If you have the land, all right, you can grow food, clothing, and shelter from the land. You can survive. We need to understand this dynamic. So when you see these cowboy and Indian movies and you see the Native American going to war with white people, all right, white people coming to the West in these caravans, like the Native American, the Native brothers from Ecuador, Mexico, and other places had a caravan coming up into through Mexico into California recently, all right? But no one stopped white people. They just didn't want them to settle on Native American land. They wanted them to keep moving west. All right. But the vast majority of land was owned and controlled by Native American tribes. And I believe it was over 420 tribes when the white man came to America. And those Native American brothers and sisters were our brothers and sisters because they are us and we are them, plain and simple. I hear some people on YouTube talking about the Native Americans as though that's not who and what we are. If you go back and you look at some of the wanted posters for slaves, they look just like Native Americans, but they were black people. We're the same people. All right. I often get mistaken from being from Eritrea or Ethiopia, someplace. You understand what I'm saying? And I've never been. But you see, I'm tied into that genetic code, and we need to understand that. So if you was to see my dad, he's probably as dark as my shirt with straight hair. All right. So, but his people are from Pennsylvania and Florida, the Blackfoot tribe. So I went through an entire ceremony with the Native American Blackfoot tribe. Went up, sat in the teepee, did all the daggone rituals, and ain't nobody there my complexion. Everybody white.
But are those just considered mulatto?
No. Everybody there was white. Thank you. We know that $5. They was playing $5 to get their name on the list. $5 Indians. We know that history. Because they wanted the land. They wanted to spread like what do you call that? What is the law that they had to make sure it was equal footing to get in college and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, affirmative action.
Affirmative action. So white people painted themselves up to be black so they could take advantage of affirmative action. That's the $5 Indian. So now when you see the Indian on TV today, he's all but white looking with straight hair. Wow. No. It was a critical thing when I was studying with the Lakota tribe. They said that, and I've said this before on here, that the paper had became their worst enemy. All right. Even the tradition with markings on animal skin. All right. They lost that tradition when the white man introduced the paper, because the rituals that we would go through every single day, keeping our traditions intact, we ended up putting them on paper and putting the paper on the shelf and never going back to the book to open it up to read it to see what the ritual is. So we would pass the book down, but we wouldn't pass the ritual down. So the paper became the enemy because the ritual now is on paper. There was 5 different examples that the Lakota gave the reason why the paper was the enemy. They would come among the tribesmen to take them to the chief. And the chief not wanting contact with white people, there was someone that was the buffer between the chief and the white man. But what they would do is before they were to go to negotiate either land rights or treaties or whatever, they would get the Native Americans drunk. So then when they presented the paper, the Native Americans didn't know what they was doing. And you signing off on stuff, giving away millions of acres. So they take you and put you in one corner of the plantation, all right, or the res, all right, while they control the rest. So the whole idea of smallpox at first, and then getting the Native Americans hooked on alcohol, and you could go on any res today, and I've been there. It's a high concentration of Native Americans suffering with alcoholism. A high concentration. And now they're introducing all kind of drugs to the Native American. And they're not holding on to the tradition. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying some of them. You have to keep in mind, there was over 500 different Native American tribes in North America. So when you say Indians, well, which ones are you talking about? When you're saying Native American tribes, which ones are you talking about? All right? And that's very dear to them. Because like I said earlier, you could not just call my dad a Native American or Indian. You had to call them by their tribal names. And the only reason that they took on American sounding names, all right, because their children went through what they went through. Let me tell you something. There's over 100 Trail of Tears. Trail of Tears didn't just happen one time. That was a common occurrence. White people would come in, murder all of the men, take the women and children, line them up, all right, which they called the Trail of Tears, and they would walk them and march them out on the res. Most of them not being able to survive without their men, all right, to protect them. So we have to understand this particular dynamic. All of these things that happened after the white man came. What is Ivan Van Sertima's book? They Came Before Columbus. They came before Columbus. What was the early America like before white people got here? We could pick up any book dealing with the Moors, all right? And we can get a good understanding of the history of black people in America just with the Moors, the underground tunnels, even here in Georgia, the mounds, all right, that were built by us as a people, all right? In every city you can go in and you can find this. When I told somebody about the mounds and literally had to take them up on 17th Street at Atlantic Station and ask one of them brothers, can I utilize one of their penthouse apartments up there, and look out and you can see all the mounds. It's critical. Or you ask one of these security people that work for MARTA or one of these places to take you to the under the underground in Atlanta to show you the tunnels that are under Atlanta. It's a hell of a thing, man.
You end up on the other side of the...
Exactly. You can walk from downtown to Stone Mountain.
Right.
It's critical. There's a bicycle trail that proves it. You can get on a bicycle on Ponce downtown and take it all the way out to Stone Mountain. So these things exist. It's just that I think we need to dig deeper and stop dividing ourselves by this pseudo scholarly work. They're presenting this stuff like it's scholarly work, and it's absolutely not. It's they still using this idea of divide and conquer. All right. So yeah, the Willie Lynch ship is still in effect. Most of us haven't got it out of us, so we need to understand that particular dynamic and deal with it for what it is. So Thanksgiving, we will end the day off being fat, lazy, watching the playoffs and who's going to end up in the Super Bowl for February. That's a hell of a concept in and of itself right there, the Super Bowl. Ashwa Kwesi teaches us that in ancient Kemet, when he takes black people over there to see part of who and what we are, the bowl and the glyphs represent the Lord. I don't think your grandmother said that way. She said the Lord. All right, but the bowl represent the Lord. So white people here in America play these games with the balls, which Dr. Frances Cress Welsing talks about, and she plays out their penis envy through the sports games, and they end up in the Super Bowl, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, all right, in February. We have to understand this dynamic. Everything dark, black, strong, in white people's psyche, in the language of racism, white supremacy, is black. Limousines carrying the most important people, black. Trump got a bulletproof one. We ain't gonna talk about that. Cigars, when white men have babies, they take cigars to the hospital, not cigarettes. Why? A cigarette in Europe is called a what? A fag. Yes, it is. So the cigarette compared to the cigar is weak and limp. This is why white men the most virulent white men smoke cigars. You follow what I'm saying? The most virulent white men play the cool sport like golf because they ain't got to sweat. But they take the big dark stick between their legs, imitating black men. See, this is in the psyche of racism, the language of racism, white supremacy, and they play it out through the ball games. All right, that's why for a long time they didn't let black men quarterback. because they didn't want black men in charge like that. It was only recently till black men became coaches. God forbid, no one, I don't think there's any general manager or owners of any football teams. Not at all. So we have to understand this particular dynamic. The owners of the football teams, what games do they play since they got niggas playing all the other games with the balls? While they playing with your balls. They smoke cigars and play golf because they want to knock a hole in black Mother Earth. They want to get a hole in one. One what? One black woman. Because that's the only way they're going to enter into the hereafter. Is through the black woman. But anyway, Thanksgiving. What are we thankful for? We cannot be thankful for them coming over, stealing the land from our brothers and sisters, the Native Americans, and leaving them with disease. All right, 90% of the Wampanoag tribe, and I believe 20 other tribes were wiped out on the East Coast before the white man even left to go back to Europe. They said when 3 ships left to go back, no, pardon me, 1 ship, and then 3 came, and then after that it was an influx of white Europeans coming to the quote-unquote New World. All right, so let's just do it. Let's just do a taste test. Christopher Columbus sailed in 1492, and when did he end up in the Virgin Islands? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
Let's just say the 1500s, late 1400s. All right. If this Thanksgiving thing happened in the 1600s, what happened to those 100 years? What was going on in America? So the whole idea of Christopher Columbus is a lie, but we need to think deeper into why they're giving the credit to Christopher Columbus as discovering America. Why do they put plainly on the shoulders of the Pilgrims? Gee, it's an easy story to digest when you're trying to brainwash people's children. The white man came, everything was happy, go lucky, and we had a meal and a feast with the Native American. Everyone got along and everything was fine. And that's digestible when you in the 3rd grade. When you in the 2nd grade, you can do the play, and your country ass grandmama is there applauding you because you got your lines right, and everything is cool, because that's all she worried about. They're not worried about the truth. They're not worried about the genocide of the Native American. All right? They're not worrying about the vast majority of millions and millions of land. Listen, you could go to any city and you'll find traces of the Native American people. Shit, Manhattan.
So when they coined the word Thanksgiving, what would be your perception of what they?
It's not. No, I can't give my perception. But you try to get personal. I ain't trying to give my perception on shit. Or everything I'm talking about right now is documented way past Griff. Because if I left out of here and passed away tomorrow, they say, "Oh man, there goes the library. It burned to the ground. Griff gone." So all that's in here that I studied. Anybody? I think Christopher Columbus, Abraham Lincoln, pardon me, was one of the first ones to establish this whole idea of Thanksgiving as a holiday. George Washington tried to, but the whole idea of it got lost. And what they were actually giving thanks for was the victory of white troops over Native Americans. So the whole idea of it, Thanksgiving.
Like, am I a person saying? Are they?
No. It's become the tradition, the law, so to speak. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what
if
you're saying.
George Washington, am I saying thank you for giving me all your shit? Like,
no, but who are you saying that to? Who's George Washington saying that to?
That's what I'm asking.
Absolutely not. They didn't have to, because they came with the Bible, and people gave it up. Do you hear about the man recently that got dropped off in the on the island in India? In one of those sacred islands that they forbid other people to go to? There is still places like that. Well, they tried to find his body, and the people warned them.
What, Antarctica?
No, in India. No, they're basically trying to warn him that these sacred islands, no one has ever stepped foot on these islands. You're just not allowed. White man, bringing the Bible and Jesus, and no, we're just not going for it at all. And I think his body kind of washed up on shore. And guess what they shot him with? bows and arrows. So they was hitting his ass from 100 yards away. I'm like, oh man, bro, that's worse than fucking just shoot me, bro. But a bow and arrow with some snake venom on the end of it. Yeah, this dude's eyeballs got big and popped out of his head. But anyway, we're running out of time. But listen, no Thanksgiving, no cranberry sauce, no stuffing, no turkey, no getting drunk, no going to goddamn Thirsty Thursdays tomorrow, watching strippers and shit. No fucking after party. Yes.
So what do you say to people who say, I don't celebrate this, but this is a time that my family going to and I want to see them, so I'm going to go? Family thing. Go and teach this. Go through some of the traditions that we as a people used to do, as opposed to doing the traditions of our open enemy. You understand what I'm saying? Elijah Muhammad said the reason why white people are so ruthless and they started using turkeys because of the history of General Monk. And General Monk was the general that rounded up white people and cable-towed them into the Caucasus Mountains. The helmet that he wore looked like the neck of a turkey. So when they came to America and they saw the turkey, they beheaded him, and like they did the Native American. And that became the national bird for Thanksgiving. See, their pain run deep. You understand? Their psyche run deep. And in order for us to understand why we have some of the traditions that we have today, and ain't nobody I know black was a goddamn pilgrim. You understand what I'm saying? See, we run the thing that we got Indian in our family because we get Vaseline and we rub our fucking hair down on the side. You understand what I'm saying? But if we were Native Americans, then how come we don't have none of the Native American traditions? How come we don't know the Native American languages? You understand what I'm saying? So, no. So we're not going to hold on to the traditions of our open enemy. You will never, ever see a rabbit running around acting like a squirrel. Only until the rabbit went to squirrel school and got indoctrinated into the squirrel religion and squirrel ideology and squirrel politics that the rabbit started running around collecting nuts and shit. That just don't happen. Rabbits don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So, no. We've been educated so much so we've been educated out of ourselves, as John Henry Clark teaches us. We have so much politics. Now, I hear people with the bobbleheads on TV. We so wrapped up into, the midterm elections just passed. And I ain't never in my life seen so many black people divided over being a Democrat or a Republican. And they two wings of the same goddamn bird. They the same damn people. With a stroke of a pen, they can change that dynamic. And where will you end up? You understand what I'm saying? So, now, to a small degree, I was rooting for the sister to win in Georgia and the brothers to win around the globe. So to some degree, we could change the dynamic of this goddamn hell we catching on a small level. You understand what I'm saying? But some people say, well, Griff, why don't you vote locally? I said, well, they thieves too. They gangsters and thugs. You see how they was acting in Georgia over a local election? Imagine when they get up there on the big hill. I'm like, nah, man, you're not getting my energy. It don't work that way. We could take that energy and have secret private meetings and we could establish an independent party. And if not that, we can establish a group of lobbyists where we could put pressure on those of y'all that do vote. So whenever they get in office and they don't do our bidding, we put pressure on them. The mafia used to kill them. The Jewish mafia used to kill them when you didn't do their bidding. See, we can't do that. Because some of y'all scared. Mentally speaking. I don't want y'all to say Griff being violent and shit.
No, that's what got them.
Oh, hell yeah. America was established on violence.
Their ability to take people out.
Exactly. Plain and simple. America came over here killing people. And they still killing people. They never stopped killing people. You see the dude he wanted to do the TED Talk and they told him no. So he went and did his own goddamn talk. And he was talking about these nano, what do you call these things? These nano robots, drones that they can send out. They said for $25 million, we can give you a whole airplane full of them and drop them off in a foreign government
and they have their own way of thinking, so to speak. These biometrics.
Hit you right here in the forehead.
Then hit you in the forehead and explode.
I got the video. I showed you.
Whoo! I'm like, you talking about devilishment to a high degree.
And they're about the size of what, a mosquito or something?
Yep, yeah. Yep, about the size of a mosquito. So they weaponized everything. They weaponized the food. Somebody said on here, well, when you gonna talk about Thanksgiving?
Well, you haven't tomorrow when you eat. That's a part of it, though, to me.
Well, we're talking about genocide. They've never stopped.
Right.
So this whole idea of going through the ritual of bringing the family together, and it's critical, man. We always bring the family together, but always someone end up going to jail, getting hurt, stabbed. It's a fight, and you know, we need to bring the family together under a different set of circumstances.
Right energy.
Exactly. The energy needs to change. You understand what I'm saying?
How can you adapt to a murderous mentality? They just have a murderous mentality. There's no way to, unless you're gonna equal the murderous mentality or you're gonna advance over that.
Right. Yeah, that's not going to. Anyway, I got to bring this to a close. I want to thank my guest. There's only about 4 or 5 of us in here, but I want to thank my guest for sitting in here with me this time. Normally, y'all know I'll be in this room talking to myself. John is in the other room counting all that money. You understand what I'm saying? Some other people are doing some other things. But I want to thank the people here at World Star Hit Radio, and of course, launching December 1st, Celebrity Media TV. This is Professor Griff for Sirius Mindz, for Sirius Mindz. Seriously. Peace. I'm out.
Joint Balance Formula. For healthy joints, get 3 bottles for $47.97 or 1 bottle for $22.97. Get your supply today. Visit us online at riversideTaichi.com/joint balance formula.
Hieroglyphic Visions, a digital marketing services company. We provide digital services for your company, such as flyer design, online marketing, ad placement, logo design, and more. Contact King Gaddy at 706-914-6238 or email at kinggaddy7@gmail.com. Let me bring your vision to fruition. Peace.
Greetings and welcome to the Sirius Mindz app. This is Professor Griff. Come on in, stay for a while, browse around, check out the different communities. This live app will service your intellectual, psychic, and mental needs. So come on in. Join the different communities, check them out, browse around. We have a community that will service your live stream needs, whether it's lectures, performance, interviews, online classes, and study groups. We have a community that you can join where we're talking about and dealing with research, study material, hopefully a virtual library, and as I said, online classes for you to join and take part in. We have communities that if you're on social media, we have social media information and links. And of course, if you enjoy my online weekly show, World Star Hit Radio and Sirius Mindz, you'll be able to catch them live right here on the app. Last but not least, we have the Oculus Inner Circle. With Oculus Inner Circle, we're dealing with the occult information, metaphysical information, esoteric information in dealing with the occult. So, stay on the app, join us. And by the way, you get all this for one low price per month. Subscribe, stay on the app, share it with other people, and I'll see you in a minute. This is Professor Griff for Sirius Mindz, for Sirius Mindz. Seriously. Peace. Peace, greetings. This is Professor Griff of Public Enemy, and I want to introduce to you my new book, A Warrior's Tapestry. This book is a guide of rituals and practices that you can incorporate into your daily life. It will assist you in cultivating a life of discipline and a spirit and mindset of a warrior. It lays out a physical workout plan. It teaches you how to incorporate prayer and meditation into your daily routine. It explores the differences between education, entertainment, economics, religion, spirituality, sex, war, politics. It even breaks down and gives you a vegan meal guide and herbal supplement list. In the Warrior's Tapestry, there's also a book list, a DVD list, a movie list, a music list. We incorporate all of these things so you can develop a warrior's mindset. And all this is to help cultivate a positive and clear, healthy habits spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. A Warrior's Tapestry is a must-have manual for the serious seeker of the warrior spirit and lifestyle. To pre-order this book, pre-order it today. It's only $20. Price includes shipping and handling. The book is will be available 11/11/18. That's November 11th, 2018. You can purchase it by going to paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp or log into www.professorgriff.me or simply call me at 678-557-2919. Get this book, A Warrior's Tapestry, now. Please download the Sirius Mindz app and listen to further guidance and instruction on not only the Warrior's Tapestry, but weekly shows from Professor Griff. Thank you very much. Revolution is not an event, it's a process. Peace. Greetings, this is Professor Griff of Public Enemy. Welcome to the Oculus Inc. The Oculus, they are the ultra secret society. They are the ones that manipulate and control your perception. They're actually the gatekeepers of your perception. The Oculus are the ones that actually write the prescription. They are the ones to determine who and why you're seeing what you're actually seeing through signs and symbols. These signs and symbols, we see them every single day. Your banks, your fast food stores, energy companies, gas stations, car companies, sports teams, all of them have signs and symbols that they use in such a way where they speak a language to one another. These are the things that the Oculus controls. The Oculus Inc.